So here that we are using XPU, so it will need XPU shaders as well, and we can just use material library, and I can just type XPU pyro preview. So this is kind of quick for pyro shading, and let me just rename these dust, and here I have to just type that dust name, and I have to select dust geometry, which is this over here. So nothing is visible, so let me just dive inside and increase this. Yeah, so something is visible over here, and let me just go with 0.2. So I will have to increase this a lot by 20, and I want to change a color bit. Yep, this looks cool, and let me just render this and take a snap of this as well, so we can just compare. So now, as you can see, after using XP Pyro Shader, this time is more reduced. Cool. And in fact, we can just reduce these samples as well. Do we really need? So that's why we have to just go over everything, and we are not using this depth. And we can just use velocity over here. Just that's it. And other options, we can just leave them default. So for more quality, maybe you can just increase this volume limit, but it's fine. Let me just test. So now it's taking 3 frames only, but it's too grainy, and we can just use, so let's just use 64 only for now. Yeah, I want textures on character as well. So for that I will use MaterialX. Yeah, so I have to use this MaterialX standard surface. Yep. And this is for character, so I'll just assign it to character only. Character. Cool. And I want image over here, so basically texture of that, so it will be material X image. So how do I find out the texture of this one? So it is already there with the geometry itself. So if I go over here and if I dive inside, and as you can see, it's using some SOP already. So I'll just go to this texture, copy this path, back stage, and I'll just paste it over here. It's reading that texture, and 0. I have that texture now, right? That's what I want. And I want to give it some cool color as well over here. So I think let's go with bit bluish. And I want to cover this area also with this. And we can just use smooth also overall for pattern. Cool. Yep, this is working really well. Let me just render this. Snap. And as you can see, we have lost the light, so I think it's because of this we have increased. It's too large, so we need to reduce this size. Yeah, let me just cross check. Do I have lights, or is it Let me pin these and just double cross check. Yeah, this will work, but we need to reduce color bit. Yeah, so this looks more bright now, and let's just test this render. Yeah, this looks better now. And before rendering entire sequence, I want to just check half res, and I want to render odd frames. So at the moment you see 120 frames are there, so it will render 60 frames only. So but it will render one, it won't render second frame, it will render third frame, that way. So it's quick, so we can just cross check everything is working in terms of motion blur and moment and everything, right? And as we will render these in low resolution, so let's just use filter over here, NVIDIA. So it will just denoise everything. Cool. So let's just set this path, render. Cool. Let's check this next.